Grogu and the giant-sized Misunderstanding the Razor Crest touched down on the dusty, lavender plains of Xyloran Prime, an alien world known for its towering crystal spires and cities that glittered like jewelry from space. Mando quickly got to work on repairs, opening panels, twisting wires, and muttering under his helmet about how nothing in the galaxy stays simple. Grogu, meanwhile, squirmed free from the co-pilot's seat. He toddled out onto the soft alien ground, eyes wide as he spotted something incredible. Off in the distance, the shimmering skyline of Xyloran's capital city rose, the buildings reaching heights taller than the Razor Crest itself. From Grogu's perspective, the city looked like a miniature playground. The spires sparkled, the streets curved perfectly, and the hover vehicles zipped around like toys. He clapped his tiny hands and squealed in delight. Before Mando could even notice, Grogu had toddled closer. He used the Force to levitate a shiny crystal tower from the city's outskirts and giggled as it wobbled. Then another, and another. Each movement made the entire city tremble. To the Xyloronians watching from below, a giant green monster had appeared out of nowhere. Buildings shook. Streetlights snapped. Hovercraft swerved wildly. Alarms rang. Citizens screamed and scattered. Grogu was entirely convinced he was in the middle of a fun, interactive game. Every floating spire he batted at, every hovercar he sent flying with a gentle force push, was another point in his imaginary play. By the time Mando had finished tightening the last panel, he looked up. His visor widened. "Kid, what did you—" Grogu had reached the central plaza, pointing at a skyscraper. Grogu was taller, way taller than the building. He sneezed, and the building leaned dangerously. Crystals shattered like glitter in the sunlight. Mando groaned. "Oh no, you're not playing, are you?" From below, the citizens of Xyloran Prime frantically gathered. They waved banners, shouted commands, and, most importantly, started piling mountains of food in the central plaza. Giant fruit, steaming trays of spiced meat, glowing puddings, and baskets of sweets. Grogu's ears twitched. He paused, his eyes narrowing as he floated a massive melon toward himself. The aliens were offering him snacks, not obstacles to topple or toys to toss around. He tilted his head, chewing thoughtfully. Slowly, the realization hit him. The city wasn't a game. These were real people, real lives, and his play had caused real chaos. Grogu's large eyes softened. He floated down to the ground and carefully began returning buildings to their upright positions, nudging debris into neat piles. When a few hovercars were flipped, he used the Force to gently set them back on their landing pads. The Xyloronians watched in awe. What had seemed like a terrifying monster was now a careful, tiny being trying to fix what it had broken. One brave citizen floated a glowing fruit toward Grogu. He cooed and took it gently, nodding like a small apology. Mando finally made his way down from the Razor Crest. "Kid, you're lucky you're cute and smart." Grogu turned to Mando, big ears flopping, then glanced back at the city. The citizens had gathered all the food they could carry to calm him, and he realized that they weren't toys. They were kind, brave, and generous. He floated over and placed a small hand atop the largest crystal spire in the plaza. With the Force, he carefully lifted it into perfect alignment, making the city sparkle once again. The citizens cheered, relieved, and even waved at him, now recognizing him not as a monster, but as a gentle giant who had only been confused. Mando patted his co-pilot on the head. "Next time, kid. Maybe leave the city alone until I say it's safe." Grogu cooed softly, as if agreeing, but a tiny twinkle in his eye hinted he was already imagining miniature playthings that were decidedly less tall than Xyloran Prime-esque skyscrapers. As the sun set over the lavender plains, the city glowed warmly. Grogu sat beside Mando, munching on one of the fruit offerings, watching the aliens carefully rebuild and clean. He had learned an important lesson. Some things are bigger than a game, and some friends are worth being gentle for. Mando shook his head, gazing at the sparkling skyline. "The galaxy's weird," he muttered. Grogu blinked slowly, satisfied, already dreaming of his next big adventure, maybe on a planet where the buildings were tiny enough to play with safely.